Okay, hi folks. This is the second video clip that I'm going to make on making bodies and doing Boolean operation on them. So we have made a part here, and notice that any part has a single part body, which is down here underlined. So whatever you make here is, because this part body is underlined right now, it's going to go into this. So let me insert several bodies here. So insert body. Notice that it inserts body number 2. Body number 1 is always part body, but it's not going to call it that. So don't let it bother you. Don't let it bother you. You can change this thing to, if you want, rename it, or using properties body 1. But anyway, this is in general body 1, and that's why when you don't do anything special, the next body is going to be body 2. Okay, do another one. So insert another body 3, another one, body 4. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let me actually do another one just in case we need it. All right, insert body 5, just in case we need it. Now, notice that this is underlined. Body 5 is underlined, so whatever you make is going to go into body 5. Okay. So let me do the following. And by the way, there is a plus sign here. You might say, well, what's this plus sign? This is called the polarity of this body. And you will see that depending on what you do in this body, it may stay as plus or it may become negative. But we'll get to that later on. So for example, let's go to body number 2. So I'm going to say define in work object. So whatever I do is going to go in there. So on the YZ plane, I will sketch something. For example, I'll sketch a rectangle. There's a rectangle. Exit and pad it by some default amount. Okay, good. All right. By the way, let me change the color of this thing. So let me see, view toolbar, graphics. So this body, I'm going to change it to yellowish. All right. Now, I want to go to body 2 and make another object. Not like that. Not in body 2. I want to go to body 3, right click, in work object. So whatever I do is going to go into body 3. So once again, on the YZ plane, I'm going to sketch. This time, I'm going to sketch a circle right there. Exit. Now, obviously, if I pad it, it's going to go just like that. But I can also pocket this. You might say, wait a minute, what are you pocketing? Well, you'll see. You can see if you pocket it, it does actually create an object. Now, I don't want it to go to the right. I want to go to the left. So I reverse the direction. The amount is the same. And we say OK. So notice that when you're dealing with bodies, you can actually sketch something and pocket it. It'll make an object for you. And by the way, notice that this sign, the polarity, became negative. From positive, it went to negative. Now, the actual polarity of a body depends on the very first operation. If the very first operation, such as in body 2, is a pad or a shaft or possibly a rib, when you basically add stuff, as in the feature-based Catia terminology is concerned, you have a positive. But when you remove stuff, although I didn't remove it, but it can be done in this context, it's going to be negative. Whatever you do after that doesn't matter. The first feature determines whether you have a positive or negative polarity. Here, pocket or a groove or a hole, these all will give you a negative polarity. Okay, let me also change the color of this. I'll change it to orange. Okay, good. Let me go to body 4. body 4, define in work object, and now do another part. So on that YZ plane, I will sketch. Alright, let me draw something that actually intersects this. So for example, let's say I'll draw a rectangle. Okay, and exit. And once again, I'm going to let's say pocket this. There we are. Let's see the direction I wanted in the other direction, and say OK. And I'm going to change the color of this thing also to orange. So change it to orange. I can use any other color, but I'm going to make it orange because these things with negative polarity, see, this is the one that we just made. I would like to draw them in orange, and things with positive polarity, draw them as yellow. Okay, so let's go in there now. In there, we're in body 5, and on that same vertical plane, sketch. Alright, so I'll draw a, I don't know, a circle or an ellipse here. Exit. Oops, did I do that? I don't think I did. Let's try it again. On the YZ plane, sketch. Let me complete that ellipse. So there, exit, and I'm going to pad this. And because I'm padding it, the polarity is positive, and I'm going to change the color to yellow. Could have been any color. Now, under the Boolean operation toolbar, there is two distinct ways of combining solid. The first one is called assemble. When you do assemble, these polarities matter. The other one, of course, is this guy, which says add, remove, and union trim or intersect. Okay, so let me click on the assembly. Now, first of all, you cannot, you see, it says pick your bodies. I cannot start with part body. Okay, we already know that. So part body cannot be on the first line. It can be anything else. For example, I can take this and combine it with that, or this and even combine it with that, etc. But let me do the following. I'll select body 2. Notice that body 2 has a positive polarity. And body 5, which also has positive polarity. These both have positive polarities. What happens when you have assemble of two bodies with the same polarity? Now, in this case, of course, I used positive, the two that had positive, but it doesn't matter. It could have been both negative, body 3 and body 4, for example. The result is that it essentially adds these two, and of course, what happens is that addition, or quote-unquote assembly, ends up in body 5. So let's see that. If I say preview, notice that it added them up. And where did it put it? It put it in body 5. Okay, let's try it again. Let me cancel that. Let me try these two negative ones. Assemble. I take that guy, which has negative polarity, and let's see now. This guy had a negative polarity. I picked it, and body. Oh, let me see. I completely forgot what I did. Let's try it again. Assemble. This. This was add. Assemble. So I take body 3, negative polarity, And for the second line, don't worry about what it picks after that. You pick it. So body 4. So body 3 and body 4, these two, they both have negative polarity. So what's going to happen is that it's going to add them, or say combine them, and there we are. Notice is what happened. Okay, I can hide these things for just a second now, and the result is going to end up in body 4. You can see that assemble adds up in body 4. By the way, let me cancel that. Here, you see, this is very important because it allows you to work with the current body or all of them. So if I click on this, this is the current body that I'm working with. Okay, that's yeah. So if you say show me all, there we are. Okay, now let's do assemble again. Assemble one more time. This time I'm going to take body 2, which has positive polarity, and I'm going to add it to something that has negative polarity, say body 4. See, body 2 is positive, body 4 is negative. Well, it's actually between these two, which have they right now they don't even intersect, but there's nothing in common between them. What it does is that it let me select a different one that actually intersect this body 2. Instead of body 4, I will use body 3 right there. So these two. As a matter of fact, I can hide these. I can hide this, and I can hide that if you don't want to see it. Okay, so body 2, body 3. This has positive polarity, this has negative. When you combine two things with opposite polarities, okay, it takes away the first one, body 2, from body 3. Okay, so I bet if I say preview, you will see only the piece down here, orange, below the yellow one. Preview, there we are. Cancel. Let's try another one. For example, this time I'm going to say assemble. The first thing that I did, and then I changed it. So this is body 2. But for the second one, I'm going to choose this. Positive polarity, negative polarity. So it's going to take this away from that. Now, obviously, what's going to happen, this is the only thing that's going to stay, because when you take this yellow rectangle or box away from that, there's nothing in common, and it just leaves this with you. Okay, let me hide that. Hide these guys because I'm not using them. Right there. Okay, let's try it again. Cancel. Okay, let me hide this so that doesn't distract you. And hide that. Okay, so let's try it again. Assemble. Assemble. This is body 2 positive. This is from body 4, which is negative. So it takes this away from, think about it as the union of these two. So it's going to leave only that. There. Cancel. Let me try the reverse order. So I assemble this, which has negative, to this, which has positive. So it takes this away from the union of the two. Okay, union of the two is this, and take this away from it, it leaves only the yellow one. I think you got the picture, right? So let's actually get these things back and do one last thing. Hide and show. Hide and show. Okay, let's assemble positive and positive. So take, let's say, this and that. Of course, what it's going to do is it's going to make these two the same thing, same body, and that body is going to be body 2. You can see that. All right, and then I'm going to assemble. Assemble. This has positive polarity. You can see that. and I'm going to take this to be negative. This is negative, body 3 is negative, so it's going to take away this from the union of the two, and obviously what's going to happen is that it's going to leave you with the yellow piece, but there's a dent here. There will be a dent here. Yeah. I'm sorry, because of the way I did it, it's going to take the yellow away from the union of these two, and that's going to leave you that just this little bottom orange piece. Right. Okay. All right. So you get the picture. This assemble is, I don't like it very much because the polarity is important. Things can be done a lot easier if we are not worried about polarity. Let me undo these things. Let me actually undo all of these, get my parts back. Okay, good. So we talked about assemble. Now let's go and do the other ones, which is add and remove. So if you click on the add, basically you can, polarity is not important. If you take this and this, you add them together, all right, and your polarity is not important, you get a big yellow piece, and that is going to be body 5. In body 5, you can see that in body 5 there is the add. Okay, or all right, so let's do this. Suppose I take this and subtract it from that. So here's the subtract or remove. So it's going to take that, subtract it from which one did they pick? Body 3. What's this? This is remove. Let's see what I've done here. So this is body 5. This is body 3. So remove body 3. Remove this from that. Okay. And let me undo this thing for a second. I want to know why is it that I can take this and subtract it from that. Okay. There must be a reason it was not doing it. So remove this from body 5. Yeah, you should be able to do it. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to take this little piece which is cross hashed here from that yellow one. Yeah. Let me cancel that. Okay. Now if I say intersect, so basically when you do these things, polarity doesn't matter. In assemble, polarity does matter. Okay. If I do intersect, for example, this piece with that piece, it's just going to be that little arc on the top and the cross hashed area preview right there. This is fairly self-explanatory. Cancel. Let me undo all of these. Well, let's not undo. Okay, so let's see what happens here. What's this other one? What's this other one? Trim. See that? Not that one. So we did all of these three. We did assemble, and this union trim. You click on it. Union trim is. Let's give it a try. You can basically combine. You can kind of, I suppose, add two parts, but then you have a control over what pieces to keep, etc. So this, okay, you're trimming body 5 with that, and then it says what are the faces to remove. So for example, let's say that we remove this obviously doesn't want it. Preview. There we are. Okay. So it's similar to adding, except that you have a control over what are the things to keep, what are the things that you can get rid of. Let's try it again. So where's that union trim? Say this and that, and then faces to keep. So let's say we keep these. This is a face to keep. So this is a blue one, and I suspect it's going to get rid of the stuff on the top. Well, I guess not. I suggest that this is not a good geometry to. This is not a good geometry to demonstrate the capability of this union trim. You can already see what happened when I did union trim of those pieces. It basically added them together. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop here and just do one very short tutorial about geometric sets, but there are some very good YouTube tutorial on geometric set, but I want to add my own contribution, and that's pretty much it.